What is going on, good people? Welcome back to another episode of Wolfpack Performance Podcast. Big shout out to everybody pulling up in the live chat. We got a few people, but we got a new member today. So big shout out to Ford SS. Welcome to the fam. Make sure you get in Discord, have some good conversation. Mary Beanie in the live chat, Samaj Show, Just Sean, AD, Sylvia with Kelly, the Wildcat, and as well as our new family member, Just Sean, Incredible Facts Quest. Big shout out to y'all. Miss Dino, how you doing? So let's get into this. Tomorrow is supposed to be a very, very awaited day. Lewis Hamilton has made some hints to an announcement that he will make, and he is not going to give any hints about what that announcement is going to be. But before we get started, you know that we have a spinoff coming right now for the 2024 Topps Chrome cards. All right. So there are a lot of names on this wheel. So many names, you can't even literally see them right now as you look at them. But many of you have been put in for this. All right. So we're going to go ahead and do the wheel spinoff. And remember, you have until I go live next or 2 days to claim it. So I go live again tomorrow because we're awaiting this news. That show is already up. Go ahead and make sure you set your reminders. I'm going to be waiting whatever time in the morning it happens. It could be early. It could be 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 8 a.m. Sometimes, depending on what the news is, I'll just choose to go live later because it really wasn't as big as we thought it was going to be. But we're going to talk about some of the things it could be. But first, we're going to spin this wheel to see who is going to get the first 2024 Topps Chrome trading cards. Now, remember, when you reach out to me to claim this, you can say, Jay, I want you to rip it on the channel, then just send me the cards. Or you can say, just send me the sealed box. I'll rip it myself and I will share the cards in the Discord on swag or merch. So you can share it with the family so we can see what you got. Did you get an auto? Whatever. So let's go ahead and spin this wheel so we can start talking about what is it Lewis Hamilton is going to tell us. And here we go. Remember, your name will be removed after this. I will write your name down. And who is it going to be? It is going to be Papa. Incredible Facts Quest is in the move. Incredible Facts Quest, your name is going to be removed. You officially are on the clock to reach out to me by social media, DM message, so I can get your name, your number, your shipping address, and your email for tracking. So first up is Incredible Facts Quest. I'm going to take a note out of here. All right, I'm going to take a note out of here. Incredible Facts Quest, congratulations. Somebody tagged that man. Usually he's in here. Is he in here today? Incredible Facts Quest, congrats. You're on the clock. All right, chat. Big shout out, Incredible Facts Quest. First up, I'm going to write him down right here. I am removing his name. He is on the clock, all right? He is on the clock. So Incredible Facts Quest, congratulations. You are the first person up to claim the 2024 Topps Chrome Formula One cards. Remember, if he does not claim them by me going live next, I will be spinning for somebody else. I am going to remove his name from the wheel. He cannot come up again. It is removed. That wheel just got a lot shorter, as you see, is removing all of Incredible Facts Quest names. And bow, I am going to save that wheel. Now let's get to talking to the business. All right, let's get to talking to the business of what we got with Lewis Hamilton. I'm gonna make sure I save that wheel right there. So all names will still be saved there. All right, all other names are still saved on that wheel. I will spin again when we go live again, which will likely be tomorrow. But congratulations, Incredible Facts Quest for right now. So as it sits right now, a lot of us are wondering, what is this news gonna be that Lewis Hamilton is gonna drop? You know, and with that being said, many people are probably concerned to a degree about their future spectating and are supporting of Formula One. Many people were already on the fence about Formula One, given post-2021 Abu Dhabi scandal and many other things that have taken place in Formula One. Some people just plain stopped watching F1. Some people haven't yet came back to watching F1. Some people actually don't watch F1, but listen to my podcast, and they say that that's enough information for them for Formula One. Now, I do wonder, is there going to be an abundant amount of that happening if Lewis Hamilton and what he does announce? So I thought about it. What is it? What could it be? And it actually could be something that doesn't even have anything to do with Formula One. And when I thought about that, I said, what could some of those things be that could be so tight-lipped or so big to the point Lewis doesn't want to let it out? And so I thought about maybe a kid. Could it be possible Lewis Hamilton is about to be a father? Could it be possible that he has a kid on the way and that's going to be an announcement and maybe he doesn't want to let it out because he's not married yet? And so I thought about if it's a kid and he's not married yet, and Lewis Hamilton has been pretty strict about how and who he dates. Could it be the inverse? Could it be that he's getting married? Could it be he's getting married? Maybe. Could it be he finally found somebody he's going to settle down with and somebody he wants to share his life with, and he's willing to now take on that portion or that particular compartment in his life when up until this time he's been pretty, I'm not getting married, I don't need kids, I need to strictly focus on Formula One. But I thought about it. Lewis did say he's at Ferrari to win. And if he is at Ferrari to win, and he's still supposedly mentally in that space that I have to be 100,000% dedicated without any distractions other than the distraction that I am going to allow in, that I can control, then maybe it's not a kid and it's not marriage. So maybe it's a business venture. Maybe it could be a business venture. And the business venture being, a lot of people think maybe clothes, right? Maybe cologne, maybe something to that degree, because Lewis Hamilton is big in fashion. He's big in clothing lines. But typically I thought about it. When Lewis is doing something that has to do with clothing lines or fashion, there's a breadcrumb of trails that lead up to that. There's a series of social media posts. There's something that's released by the actual brand that kind of hints to Lewis Hamilton coming in. And that usually happens. So it would break protocol unless it's that big of a bombshell drop that he's coming out with his own brand. I still would think with a brand and clothing, you do some kind of breadcrumbs leading up to it because you want to generate that hype. You want to generate that hype and all of that mass hysteria and coverage for the actual clothes drop. So right there, you can smack the ground running and start making money. Then I said, you know what? I don't think it's that. So then I said, could it be that Lewis Hamilton might be announcing that he's going to be a partial owner of a team that could be coming into Formula One? Incredible Facts Quest says, hey, I'm in the car right now, and before you said it, I said my name. Pow, I told you guys. Just go ahead and wrap it up. It's mine. Incredible Facts Quest for sure. He put his name in there abundantly throughout all the lives. He's always active. He's always commenting. He's always super chatting. He has been in there, man. Hey, it is big shout out to you. Hey, congrats. Make sure you reach out to me social media. Get me your name, your number, your email, and your address so I can get that shipped out to you. Remember, if you're overseas, we got some other things that we might have to deal with. So hopefully you're in the United States, less to deal with, easier to ship it out. And if you get that to me today, before I make my orders drop, I can go ahead and include it with the rest of those orders and get it in the mail off to you today. So the sooner the better. When I get off of this live, I will be gathering all of my shipment boxes to take all the orders to the post office or UPS and getting those shipped out. So do not forget that. Also, you can go to the Wolfpack Performance site, wolfpackperformance.net, and you can shop for the hats or the shirts. So I will also say this. Lewis Hamilton does have a liquor brand, all right? He has a liquor brand, non-alcoholic liquor. Maybe there's going to be an announcement coming out about that, right? So then those are all the things that you could think about that kind of don't have anything to do with Formula One, have more to do with outside of Formula One, but still access to Formula One fans as far as marketing. Now let's focus on some things that get a little bit more kind of, let's pause for a second before we do this. Is it possible that there's a new race engineer coming in? Is it possible that Lewis Hamilton is going to announce some deal that may have been stricken up between Mercedes Bono and Formula One Ferrari that, hey, I'm going to have a new race engineer and it's going to be Bono. He's going to be coming over. I got Angela, I got Bono. I'm going to keep incorporating teams, places, compartments, parts, all of this into Ferrari as I'm trying to get my 8th world driving title. And now I have my engineer of old, which has been the best engineer I've had. And that's going to be happening. Adami is out. Bono is in. That definitely needs to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen. Incredible Facts Quest in the Super Chat says, I'm in Torrance, California. Love you guys. Yo, get with me, Incredible Facts Quest. Do not worry, chat. We do have another box. Remember, we have another box of Chrome Formula One trading cards. All the Super Chats from the Hungarian GP going forward are going to be put onto that wheel for the next giveaway. It could be that. It also could be some other things, some other Lewis Hamilton merch, Ferrari merch. It could be anything, all right? So make sure you get your name in there plenty of times. Incredible Facts Quest has got his name in there again 2 times. All right, 2 times. He's already in for the next giveaway. So maybe there's a new engineer coming in, a race engineer for Lewis Hamilton. And then I thought about, okay, if it's not that, like I said, could it be partial team owner of a team coming in? Could he be partial owner of Cadillac? Could he be partial owner of Audi? Is he going to be doing something like that? That's a pretty big deal. And with that being such a big deal and documents that need to be placed and documents that need to be signed and portions of the company that need to be divvied out and big amounts of money that need to be moved into different spaces. A lot of big platforms that have a lot of investigative journalism in place likely would have uncovered that, right? Likely would have uncovered that. The engineer move also probably likely would have breadcrumbs because you need several visits to and from the trailers, meetings that are going to be held, movement that would be happening. And I said that likely probably also would be something we could find out before he actually dropped it. And then the biggest thing that would be a concern that nobody would have to know to the point that it would be undisclosed. It can simply be between he and Fred Vasseur. Even less than that would be him saying he's going to retire. Would be Lewis Hamilton saying that because he wouldn't need to let the team know directly, this is going to be my last season, and they're going to need to find a driver come 2026 because I will not be driving. And that right there would be a bombshell that would impact not only you as spectators, our fans, our supporters of Formula One and Lewis Hamilton and our Ferrari, but that would impact all of Formula One. I think people largely underestimate, just like they largely underestimated Lewis Hamilton moving to Ferrari. That was a big needle move. That was a big ass needle move. I mean, that impacted not only the stock market, it impacted a lot. That impacted Mercedes. That impacted you. That impacted content creation. That impacted commercials. That impacted everything. If Lewis Hamilton leaves the sport, there will be a void. Like all things, when people depart, it moves on, but it moves on unlike it was before. And if Lewis Hamilton retires to leave the sport of Formula One, everybody will feel it. Everybody's going to be impacted. Revenue is going to be impacted. Teams are going to be impacted. Drivers' seats and availability is going to be impacted. Incredible Facts Quest in the Super Chat says, also, Toto has been seen at Ferrari camp, and he's been seen pretty close to Kimi. All right. Well, that is true. That is true. That is true. That is true. Right? So maybe Lewis Hamilton retiring as a driver, but returning to Mercedes as an ambassador. Maybe Mercedes realizing we messed up. Even if he doesn't want to drive, his ability to be infectious to an environment and an organization is priceless. It is completely priceless. Lewis Hamilton's impact is priceless, especially with an organization that knows if we get aligned with his goals, his values, his morals, there's an expectation that can be achieved. There are goals that can be achieved. There are championships that can be achieved. Maybe maybe Lewis Hamilton didn't realize before he got in Ferrari. What's up, Baraka? What's up, Miss Dino? What's up, Sylvia with Kelly? Racer X210, Lord Chaos, I see you. Maybe Lewis Hamilton didn't realize before he jumped into Ferrari how I don't want to be I don't want to be negative. I don't want to be negative here. But maybe he just didn't know how obscenely difficult it could be to change such a culture that is unwilling to change. Maybe that's it. And maybe there have been some personal things that have happened behind the scenes that actually maybe involved HR and some lawyers. And maybe because Ferrari didn't want it to come out and they definitely wanted to keep that tight, they didn't want to let that out. And so Lewis Hamilton is able to say, hey, if this is what it's going to be here, I'm not going to deal with that. I think Sir Lewis Hamilton wants to drive the new car Active Era. I do too. I do think he wants to drive that. But I do also wonder if there comes a certain point, and I told you all this a long time ago. I told you this. Nobody in anything stays great forever. Nobody has. Nobody has stayed great forever. And although Lewis Hamilton's possible diminishing of his ability is still far above anybody else's ability, it's about how he feels inside. It's also about how he decides he wants to leave his story. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to keep it really a buck with you. I would not be happy if this is how he leaves it. I honestly feel it would have been better for you to leave on the exit of Mercedes. I mean, they made a shitbox car for 4 seasons. Nobody's going to blame you for that. And you did as much as you could do for a team who you had already done a lot for. Who's blaming you for that? Farewell, the GOAT of Formula One, still the GOAT until somebody achieves that or more. And it would have been good. But if Lewis Hamilton chooses to retire now, it's a little bit muddy. It's a little bit, and like I told you all when he made those comments, when he made the useless comments, people were going to eat that up and use it 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 against him. Use it and 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 use it to try to substantiate that they were always right that Lewis Hamilton was washed when he's not washed. That's been the case. That is exactly what they are doing. That is exactly what they are doing. And I don't want to see him retire like this. So I would prefer it be something to have nothing to do with Formula One or something that improves him moving forward in Formula One. I absolutely don't think Lewis Hamilton is done. And even if he feels he's done mentally, I think physically, ability-wise, talent-wise, and skill-wise, he's not done. But it is all about where you are in your mental mind and headspace. And if he felt like it was time, then I'm cool with that. I might not like it, but I'm definitely cool with it. I mean, the man's accomplished a shit ton in Formula One. I'm cool with it. We always want to see the great stay around and keep being great. We always want to see somebody who is infectious to the point that it is so positive, and that we're looking at a sport where there's so much negative and there's not a lot of promotion of upkeep. I mean, Sebastian Vettel does it, but he's not in the sport. And then Lewis Hamilton leaves. It's like, what are we going to do? We're looking for Oscar Piastri and Kimi Antonelli to come up next to do something to a degree that would be positive outlook on the sport. Hadjar, maybe. We're not looking for Carlos to that. We're not looking for Charles to that. We're definitely not looking for George Russell, Max Verstappen, Lando Norris for that. Oscar Piastri, maybe. We're not looking for Yuki for that. We're not looking for Albon for that. Alonso or Sainz for that. Or Lance Stroll for that. We're just not. There's only a few that we could think of that might even possibly be able to move into that realm of infectiousness. And it's not a lot. Incredible Fact says, and it will look bad on Ferrari. It will. Because then they will be the champion-bred driver killers. Ferrari will be looked at as a team that is so bad, yet so marveled at, that it's a grinder. OG Zilla in the super chat says, that's my biggest tinfoil conspiracy. F1 with FIA manipulated 80-21 because they believed Sir Lewis Hamilton would retire if he got his 8th. They didn't want this because they were pushing the American market at the time with Miami and Vegas GPs. That ain't a bad one, bro. That ain't a bad one, OG Zilla. It's not a bad one. RacerX210 says Lewis isn't someone to quit when things get difficult. His entire career from childhood shows it. He won't quit like this. And RacerX210, I really hope not. I really hope not. We're still going to be here. I'm still going to be here. You know, given many people foolishly think that the day Lewis Hamilton walks out of the sport, Wolfpack Performance Podcast for Formula One stops, that's wrong. That's incorrect. I told you all from the day that you cursed me and you racially profiled me and you used racial slanderous terms against me and you called me everything else under the sun, I told you all then you were going to have to deal with my face for a very long time, and I have not lied to you thus yet. It's going to be here. It's going to be here. I'll probably be here and you won't. Just telling you. And big shout out to my family for that encouragement and the support of the Wolfpack family, the members, for always trying to keep me straight, always trying, the ones especially, my OGs, when we went through a turmoil of time here, just like Lewis Hamilton is going through. Who's coming with me? Jerry Maguire type shit. Who's coming with me? Several people left with foolish intents and then mild intents, and several of you stayed and said, we here for you. We're here for the cause. We're here to move forward. We're here to build a community where people can share F1 experiences and all that. And I don't think Lewis Hamilton is done building what he's trying to build up. Gregory Williams in the super chat says, I just would rather see Sir Lewis go out on a high note. I'm with you on that. I do. Who doesn't? Which he wholeheartedly deserves. Facts. Facts. With everything that was taken from him and the way in which it was taken, you're damn right he deserves it. You're damn right he deserves it. Absolutely, he deserves it, Gregory. And OG Zilla, I don't think you're far off. It was fishy, it was dirty, and everything. But Lewis Hamilton is no quitter. He said he was useless. I know he said that. But I'm sure when he went back and he looked at that and it keeps being put up, I'm pretty sure he regrets saying what he said. I'm pretty sure he regrets it. Pretty sure he wishes he could have that moment back. And I really hope tomorrow when this announcement drops, it is not one that we are going to look at and say, damn, we're going to have to continue to watch the sport without such a great individual, a great competitor, a person of character, integrity, and values leave the sport. I hope it's an announcement that makes the haters and the naysayers and the bigot people and the people who are always waiting and wishing for negative perspectives on Lewis Hamilton to make content and or to comment on. I hope it makes them feel like shit. I thought we had him. It just seemed like he was really going to get flushed. He said he was useless. Then he said, you need another driver. Then he said it wasn't a team, it was him. I really thought that we finally got Lewis Hamilton to quit. And I hope it takes the wind out of their sails that it is not that. It is only something I'm moving further to progress and do. That's what I hope. But my hopes aren't necessarily what will become reality. But I do hope, and we will see. We're a day away. Galactus in the super chat says, if he won 80-21, a world driving title, do you think retire 2021? No. Honestly, Galactus, I don't think if he won that title, I don't think he would retire. I think he would have went forward. I think he would have went forward for 9 and 10. Because honestly, I think Lewis Hamilton could legitimately look at his career and say, I should already have 9. I think he could legitimately look at his career and say, I should already have 9, given they did what they were supposed to do in these illegal situations. That's what I think. Miss Dino in the super chat says, I'm happy I found your face, period. Rocking with Sir Lewis Hamilton, not going to retire. Big shout out, Miss Dino. Hey, big shout out to you. Hey, thank you very much. Big shout out to Miss Dino. Yeah, this is what I think. And we're going to find out. And we're going to talk about it. And we're going to be here for all the smoke if it's smoke. We're going to be here still live if it's retire. We're going to be here, whatever the situation is, we're going to be here to face it. Because unlike most people who conduct themselves in a less characterized manner, that tend to stay under rocks and stay in the shadows and not come out until maybe the situation makes them feel as so, we're going to be here. So I'm going to put a poll in the chat. I want you to vote on what you think it is. All right. And I'm going to put some options up there. Maybe I don't cover everybody's options, but I'm going to try to cover some of the main ones. All right, here we go. So we're going, what's up, Uno in the super chat says Bernie should stay retired and quiet period. I agree. I get tired of seeing his face. I get tired of seeing his face. All right, so we're going to I got to put this one up here because it's on the board. Gregory Williams in the super chat says, Jay, it was painful watching Sir Lewis Hamilton say useless. I fully agree, bro. I fully agree. Took the wind out of my sails. Bro, it literally, it pissed me off. It pissed me off to the point where I couldn't even come on here right away. I had to come on after I kind of calmed down a bit because it unsettled me to see somebody. It unsettles me anytime I'll see somebody say that they're useless. Because when you say you're useless, there's so many different ways that can go for a person's mentality. You know, I've heard people say that and then they're not here with us anymore. I've heard people say that and they quit before it's time. I've heard people say that and they gave up on themselves or somebody else. And it really made me feel, it really made me, it pissed me off. You know, let's see. I'm going to put this in here. You're finna get ready to vote on it. Just hold on. Ship. And then what else could it be? Oh. All right, here we go, chat. Here we go. Poll in the chat. Vote on it. Dance on it. Whatever you do, be happy you did it. All right, here we go, chat. Let me see what you all think. All right, let me see what you all think. What do you think Lewis is going to drop? Retiring, clothing, ownership, new race engineer. What is it that you think Lewis Hamilton is going to drop tomorrow, August 8th? Which I want to tell you all something. It would be crazy to drop it on 8th as he is in the hunt for his 8th World Driving Championship. And maybe it is something that is going to help him for his championship campaign going forward. What's up, Julius Taylor? Welcome to the Wolfpack fam. We got 2 new family members today, chat. Let's give them open arm welcomes. Big shout out. Thanks for joining the Wolfpack fam, man. It is good to have you. Make sure you get into the chat. Make sure you get in there and have conversations with everybody that you just joined, all right? Big shout out to Julius. I am trying to tag you, but it seems that, you know, sometimes YouTube doesn't participate. Welcome to you, man. Big shout out to the fam. But I thought like the world 8th driving title, August 8th, kind of tying it all. You know, he can be very meticulous like that. Big shout out. We got Gary Kelsey in the chat. I like it. I like it. Big shout out. Gary, when you're a family member, you can literally use the family member emojis like this. These emojis. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out. But Gary, I like the emojis you use. Big shout out to Gary dropping in. 100, man. So let me see. 47% of you are saying new race engineer. 33% think it's ownership. 14% think it's clothing. Little of you think it's retiring. I'm on board with the retire. I don't think it's retiring. I don't think it's retiring. I think it's maybe new race engineer, Bono's coming, or it's going to be some type of ownership type talk. That's what I think. But I'm not on the retirement side. I would be disappointed if it was, like I've already told you. And it could, I mean, could you maybe? I'm going to take a back seat. I'm still going to be here. I'm going to move to reserve driver, let another driver kick in. Hell no. Lewis Hamilton ain't doing nothing like that, man. He's not doing nothing like that. That would be like, I'm all about mental health, and you got to do what you got to do for mental health. So if it is for those reasons, I'm 100% on board. I just feel like, can we? But hey, if that's how you need to handle it, that's how you need to handle it. I'm not one to kind of try to dictate how a person needs to handle what they should for their mental health stability. Now, how I feel about it in comparison to what I would do might not align with your direction, but still, I'm not going to shame you for that. Just, it might depend on what it is too. It says, I missed something. How do I get the emojis? AD, you go down if you're a member, and when you see the emojis tab, you hit the emoji tab, right? So it's going to come up. There is a icon that says custom emojis. It's like a star. It's like a star inside of a circle. You hit that and you can get all the family member custom emojis, Goldish, the Mercedes, the Ferrari. You can get all of those. And if you're on your phone, it might be a little bit difficult if you're on the phone versus if you're on PC. But I believe if you're in the chat on the phone, you should still be able to use those emojis. Yeah, you got to get in. I'm about to make some new custom emojis going forward too. So we're going to put some new emojis in there. I'm going to try to make the new Lewis Hamilton Ferrari helmet to replace the old helmet. Try to get a couple of different car emojis in there because we got Ferrari, we got McLaren, we got the Mercedes. I might try to actually put a Williams car emoji in there as well. So yeah, you got access to the custom emojis if you're a family member. If you got a badge, you should have access to the emojis. So definitely use them. It's a fun time. Galactus just used damn near all of them. Yeah, he just damn near used all of them. So yeah, waffles, we got all that. I'm thinking about replacing the waffles and the honey buns with something else since I can't eat those anymore. I won't be able to pretty much eat like honey buns and waffles going forward. So I'm thinking about replacing those. French toast every now and then. I still kind of try it. I'm hoping that waffles can come back into my life. So let's go ahead and stop the poll right there. 48% say that it might be a new race engineer. You could very well be right. Okay. Could very well be right. And we will be in the Wolves Den this weekend. Remember, we're going to be in the Wolves Den this weekend. We damn sure going to have a reason to be in there depending on what Lewis drops tomorrow. We will have a Wolves Den meet this weekend. We are getting ready for a grudge race that is going to be coming up. The track is Spa. I am waiting for drivers to decide whether it is going to be personal cars or team cars. Either way it goes, it doesn't matter. But do keep an eye out for that. Depending on how my schedule might go, it actually might be this Sunday. But drivers should already be practicing for Spa. So even if I drop the grudge race for this Sunday, you should be well prepared and ready. Get your steering wheels ready. Get whatever you need to do. Barack, I want to see you on the grid too. Keep the waffles and buns. All right, keep the waffles and buns. I got you, bro. I'll keep the waffles and the honey buns. All right, I got you. I got you, bro. He said keep the waffles and the honey buns. I got you, bro. We'll keep the waffles and the honey buns. I might try to eat a honey bun on here one day. You know, I used to eat honey buns all the time for qualifying because I'd be hungry as hell. So that's where the honey buns came from if you didn't know. But we'll be on board, chat. So appreciate everybody. I'm going to go ahead and close that poll. We will be in Spa for the grudge race. Remember, Miss Dino, if your kid wants to race, send me a request to the Wolfpack on Xbox or PC or PlayStation. Just go on the EA platform and send me one. I think it's Wolfpack F1 is my screen name. I'm going to load this thing up today so it can update and all that other stuff. All right. So big shout out to everybody, but that's what we got. We will see soon. I'll be back tomorrow or maybe even today, depending on what happens. Peace, love, drink water, and stay healthy. We're out.